Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Zed. Today I'm going to be talking again about SPAQ, Spartan Energy Acquisition Group. This is an update to my previous DD collections. Make sure to watch those ones in the description below. I'm going to go through technical analysis, news, and what I think about the stock. At any point in the video, if you feel you're missing on the technical indicators, you'll find in the description below a playlist that explains each of them and what they mean. Let's jump right into it. On a 1 week perspective, what we get to see here is the MACD for a second time over, curving downwards and trying to attempt to go through a negative reversal. That's on a 1 week perspective. On the ADX, we're hitting around 54.87, and that is usually an indication that a trend might actually start falling down. So it's usually a warning when it's above 50 that a trend might be a little bit unsustainable to continue on. Volume percent R is actually gaining a bit more traction. It was oversold 2 weeks ago, and that's the massive red week we had on the 20th of September, and then looks like it's actually crawling back to neutral. Momentum seems to be actually recovering after it has dipped a little bit below following the 26th. Unbalanced volume looks pretty decent. Volume looks average. I mean, there has been loss of interest, but it's still stable. Moving averages on a 1 week perspective, although looks bullish. So taking a quick look into a 1 day perspective, what we get to see here is an ADX that is actually a little bit sloppy. Volume percent R that is overbought. So that's two things that are bearish. Now MACD looks like it's actually curving upwards, and that is really bullish. Momentum looks like it's actually gaining attraction, and unbalanced volume looks like it's quite stable at this level. Now moving averages, what we get to see here is that the 30 EMA, the red line, has gone above the 10 SMA. That's a bearish sign. But the stock price is above the 50 SMA and the 200 SMA, so that's bullish. So even though the 30 EMA is above the 10 SMA, it can easily change within a 10-day period. Now, a 1 hour perspective, that's just merely into the next few hours coming in. MACD is curving down, although the ADX shows in a very strong indication that a trend is forming here. Momentum is stable. Volume percent R doesn't tell us much. Moving averages looks really bullish. It looks like it went from bearish to Friday to bullish, and what we get to see here is that the 50 SMA is curling up, almost potentially forming a golden star. So it looks coming in very bullish coming into Monday. Now moving averages, what we get to see, it's actually expected to trade 1348 in the bottom, 1498 in the middle, and 1656 in the top. And if we would get to look at the stochastics, and here I'm also going to be keeping on the same channel that I did go for last time. Zooming in, we get to see on the stochastic fast and slow. Looks like it's curving up. It hasn't hit the top yet, so that's a good news. This is the same channel I drew last time, and I think it was around here where I said it's gonna easily jump back up, and it actually did. It's trading on the bottom half of this channel. So the bottom half of the channel is 1366, middle is 1586, so that's considered the ceiling. If it does break that ceiling, probably going all the way up to 1818. Now going on towards Fibonacci retracements, we get to see a support at the 1426, a resistance at 1566, another resistance at 1705, and below there 1254. Now let's take a quick look into supports and resistances to identify what are significant levels that we need to be above. So currently there is a support sitting at 1397, been tested a few times. And then the most significant one to me is the 1354. That's been tested a lot more than the previous one. Another support sitting at 1299, and then 1267, and then of course this one here at 1251. Now significant resistances, that's a little more exciting. We're looking at 1459 as a resistance, 1487. Significant one at 1503. Above that, we're looking at 1569, 1591, and 1617. Now let's take a quick look into news. Institutional buyers, it seems that it's a little bit mixed. So for October, we have, I believe, around, let's say, 5,000 shares added. And we're looking into Finney Investments. It looks like they have closed down a lot of their shares. 72% of their value have been closed down. So that is quite interesting. We don't see anything from 13G for October or September. So let's take a look into the latest news. October 1st, is the cutoff for shareholders, and they have until 28th to make a vote onto the acquisition. So the acquisition, the new ticker will be FSR. So that is quite exciting to go for. A lot of different tweets coming in from on this filing, so I'm not gonna go one by one, but quite exciting to start seeing at least a date towards that vote where we get to know it's a yes or a no, and it's most likely gonna be a yes. So it announces the special meeting on the 28th. We've already gone through the filings for it a few times over. 28th is a special meeting at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you were a shareholder before October 1st or on record for October 1st, make sure to vote. Now, a lot more filings related to that. But what I want to go through right now is two things. One is, well, the rumor about the iCar and that Fisker might actually be working with it. So that is as well rumor. Just treat it as a rumor. The next thing is there are two Twitter accounts. So there's Fisker Corporations and Henrik Fisker. Usually you'd find a lot of hidden PRs in there or hidden news or anticipation coming. So in 8 weeks, on October 20th, you're going to have the second fully drivable prototype. So that is exciting. And from what the looks of it is that it might be like more of a sport edition, as you get to see. So it's not the standard edition that we're probably seeing. Usually oranges are usually given towards a little bit of sportish versions of them from my experience with cars and whatnot. Other news coming in towards their mobile apps. They have been gone on Fox News. They've gone on different platforms to try to develop more of their brand and kind of strengthen it. So I'm not going to go through the details of it, but I'm going to mention about the price action relating to special acquisition companies such as SPAQs and their movements when they merge into something like FSR, Fiskars. Now, let's take a quick look into the stock price action, where I think it's going to probably do in the next few days. So I believe probably on October 18th to 18 to 20 is probably going to get pumped up for the second prototype. October 20, you might actually see it a little bit jump up. You're going to get a little bit of a pullback beyond October 20, probably up until October 24th. And then from there towards the special meeting, it's going to actually rally up. The news is going to come in as yes in the merger, and one of two things can happen. One, it jumps just a little. Jumps like quite a lot, hits a new high. Or it drops fast because of buy the rumor, sell the news. Now, buy the rumor, sell the news is looming on this one really closer to October 28th. The reason is, once this becomes its own ticker as FSR, a lot of the people that have been trading this would want to cash out. And we've seen this happen to stocks like Highland with a reverse merger. So this one here, it's going to happen is that probably after the meeting or after you get the new ticker, it's going to actually drop quite a bit. I would probably say 20% or something. And then once it finds its actual bottom, then it's going to go on and start recovering into a very nice uptrend. But you need that kind of correction due to weak hands, traders, maybe some short selling would happen over there. So that's something to keep in mind. What do you think about this ticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like. You have a wonderful day.